Okay, thanks, Ruth. Good afternoon. I am the last, but
Put it right.
I will try to close in. It's working? Okay. Um, okay, good afternoon. I want to thank to Brigitte for inviting me to attend the conference and to present the experience of the European Day of Jewish Culture in Siena. Telling about Siena experience for the European Day of Jewish Culture, it's a matter of getting in touch directly with the focus conferred on the conference, the challenges and opportunities posed by Jewish heritage tourism and travel in Europe, in places where there is an active local Jewish population and in places where there are sites of Jewish heritage but not organized Jewish community, or like in our case, the local Jewish community is very small. So I would like to start by saying that from my point of view, in Italy, the experience of the European Day of Jewish Culture has been crucial year after year to creating and developing awareness of the importance of the Jewish heritage. Awareness within the Jewish communities, beyond the narrow circle of the 3, 4, 5 Italian Jewish museums that were created, was born before the establishment of the European Day of Jewish Culture. This was true also in Siena, a city with a strong tourist attraction, but where the Jewish heritage and the site of the synagogue was misunderstood primarily by the local population before the European Day of Jewish Culture. The European Day of Jewish Culture and the network created by the day helped build special project that goes beyond the open doors of the European Day of Jewish Culture. From 2012, the synagogue and the Jewish cemetery, the old Jewish cemetery of Siena, are open to the public. The Jewish community of Florence, Siena, it's a small section of the Jewish community of Florence. And I am a member of the Jewish community of Florence, but from 2012, I am also a worker of the cooperative Coopculture, that for the Jewish community of Florence and for the section of Siena for the public services, educational activities. So from 2012, it's possible to visit the place, to book in advance a special visits. It's possible to find the site of the synagogue on a website of Coopculture. From 2015, probably, also we are on the website must-see places, i luoghi imperdibili, that yesterday the president of the Foundation for Jewish Cultural Heritage in Italy remember. And from 2015, also the synagogue, it's part of a network of 47 different small museums of the territory of Siena, the Fondazione Musei Senesi. So it's just important to remember, because I feel that the European Day of Jewish Culture was really very important for the development of the tourism of the around the Jewish community around the synagogue of Siena. Now, the European Day of Jewish Culture in Italy has been attracting growing numbers of visitors from its first edition. And Italy plays a very important role in answering the day as a great success. And I want to remember here the role of Annie Sacerdoti, that was a pioneer of a Jewish heritage documentation and activism in Italy, and one of the spirit of the European Day of Jewish Culture. In Italy, the UCEI, the non-profit entity that represents the 21 Italian Jewish communities, has already been cooperating with the IEPJ for the celebration of the European Day of Jewish Culture, with an impressive program of activities in an incredible number of different places that in the last September arrived to more than 80 different sites. Okay. From the first edition, the mission and the slogan was to promote Jewish heritage like a part of the European heritage and celebrate Jewish life, not only the day. Now, the experience of Siena, it's the experience of a very small community, few people, few members, that from the beginning of the 20th century, Siena became a section of the Congregation of Florence. The Jewish presence in Siena come back to medieval time, and there is a continuity of presence of Jews in the city from centuries. The building of the synagogue, and it's just the building of the synagogue, and it's a wonderful example of, in Tuscany, of architecture between Rococo and Neoclassicism. It's has always maintained its original destination and is located a few steps from the central Piazza del Campo, the central square, okay? It's a classical typology of a synagogue of the centuries of the ghettos in Italy with a simple facade, and in the interior it's a very richly decorated interior. Now, like Ruth has written in the past and in many situations, that everything most Italian not Jews know about Jews is linked or was linked to World War II or with Jewish death. This was true also in Siena. I remember that when in the late 90s, when I moved to live in Siena, I had the contact between the Jewish community, the site of the synagogue, and the local institution and citizenship were linked only to the official celebration of the Liberation Day, 25 of April, or later from 2001 with the institution of the Holocaust Day, 27 of January. Some important and symbolic contact between the site of the synagogue and the city were in the late 90s. The first was the official visit of the Archbishop of Siena to the synagogue as a result of the historical first visit of the Pope to the synagogue of Rome. And the second was on June 1999, when the municipality of Siena, they affixed on the facade of the synagogue a plaque in memory of the 13 Jews killed in Siena in 799 after the first French emancipation and opening of the ghetto. Now, I wanted to recall these events to point out that also in Italy, where Jewish presence has never failed, the discovery of the Jewish world has begun in connection with important historical changes that opened the way and opened the doors to the birth of the European Day of Jewish Culture. This is my, and I want to show also this is the plaque, okay? So every year, from the first edition of the European Day of Jewish Culture, Siena, with the collaboration of the community of Florence and with Laura Forti, today it's a member of the board, but in the past also other members like Enrico Fink, that for years was, until now, we collaborated together for the European Day of Jewish Culture. So Siena, and I show some pictures, try to, every year, the event was focalized on the topic of the year and offered guided tours, lectures, small exhibition, book fair, food, concert, performance. Okay, for the first time in 2003, we opened the Jewish cemetery to the public, okay. And the doors were open to everyone interested in learning about the Jewish presence in the area and to explore and to come in touch with Jewish culture and folklore and also with the Jews. I remember very well that, I don't remember exactly the year, but the slogan was to open doors to Jewish heritage, but became also to open doors with the contact with Jews, not only with the archaeological heritage, okay. So For years, different topics: Judaism and education, Jewish cooking in heritage, music, Jewish festival and tradition, Judaism and art, facing the future, Jewish heritage and nature, women in Judaism, crossing bridge, Jewish languages, diaspora was the last year. Okay, from the first year, was clear that the success of the project was linked to the ability to create collaboration with the local cultural institutions. No? I remember one of the first years, 2004, when for the first time we decided to ask from the local institution, from the municipality, to use public spaces outside the synagogue, because we use the space of the synagogue, it's very small. So we try also to open doors and to go out. And I remember very well, 2004, that the topic was Judaism and education. And we used for the first time this square that it's very close to the synagogue. It's the old square of the market of Siena, for an incredible program where children were involved, together with a journey around Jewish poetry from Yehuda Levi to Dalia Rabinovich. I don't know, I don't remember exactly. Okay. I just want to remember it's impossible to list all the programs that have been offered to the public for over 10 years. I just want to remember the year of 2008. The topic was music, and Ruth was in the synagogue, because we organized a concert that remembered the inauguration of the synagogue of Siena. The synagogue was re-inaugurated in the second half of the 18th century with a special music program, a sonata of Baroque music for male singers and chamber orchestra that was composed by a Jewish musician, Volunio Gallic, and a Christian professional musician, Francesco Drey from Siena. And it was the first time that the music was played in the synagogue since then. So it was also a project of research, okay, around the Jewish heritage of Siena, and was a collaboration with the local Academy of Music. So now, on 2011, Siena was selected as a leading city for the edition of this year, and the theme was facing the future. In Italian was from Talmud to Internet. Probably it's Finnish, I don't know. Okay, but you saw different photos. Just to close, I want to say that from 2012, the synagogue offers, so after, also especially after when we were in the program of the European Day of Jewish Culture leading, from this year, the synagogue offered a program from different audience, educational activities for school. So you see here a picture that show activities after the European Day of Jewish Culture. So for different audience, for schools, for families groups, for Jewish visitors, for local citizens. And we are not a Jewish museum, also if we preserve an important material and immaterial Jewish legacy, but we feel, like was pointed out by different past presentations today, we feel like in our everyday work, like agents of social regeneration, agents for a responsible tourism, and I feel that many different topics here were connected with our work in every day. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Anna.